Hello, everyone. Just want to welcome you to my first video of Seattle by the Mile. I'm Douglas, and I've created this vlog and also SeattleByTheMile.com to blog about and exploring Seattle as an Uber driver, a gig worker, kind of a side hustle. And today I just wanted to talk about why I've signed up and what is my big why of doing this to sign up for Uber. It's not just for fun. Actually, I'm doing it because there's this pretty large mountain that I have to climb. Think of Mount Rainier kind of mountain to climb. All right, let's just rip the band-aid off. I'm currently staring down $80,000 in student loan debt. Yeah, $80,000. And honestly, it's pretty overwhelming. There's this constant fear in the back of my mind about defaulting on my loans, about the IRS coming after me. I just don't want to live with the rest of my life feeling this fear and this overwhelming. I'm 43 years old right now, and I just want to be done with this debt. If you do not know me, I'm actually a full-time funeral director. I've been a funeral director for a decade now, and um, this work that I do as a full-time funeral director is mentally and emotionally challenging. Signing up for Uber is a pretty big step for me, um, but it's driven by this pretty big number as well. What's the plan? How am I going to tackle this $80,000 student loan? I'm going to channel what Dave Ramsey calls Gazelle Intensity. Now, quick sidebar on Dave Ramsey. I kind of feel about him like we feel about J.K. Rowling. You can appreciate the work, Harry Potter. I cry every time I watch it. But I have issues with the creator. I don't always vibe with Dave Ramsey, the personality of him or him as a person, but his plan for getting out of debt, it's pretty solid. So I'm focusing on his baby steps. He has seven of them. And step number one is saving a $1,000 emergency fund. That's goal number one with these Uber earnings. And then once I get that $1,000 emergency in the bank, then what I'll do is I'll move to baby step number two. And what that means is doing the debt snowball. So for every single penny after that of driving after work and on the weekends, will go to the debt snowball. What that means is you take all your debt and then you pay the minimum amount, the minimum payment, and then you put all of your extra funds into the lowest amount of debt that you have, that one bill. So like if I had a credit card bill or an old gym membership of like $200, that $200 one, I'll be putting all that money, extra money on that. And then once I pay that off, it'll go to my next one. And then it'll just create this snowball. So it means intense focus. Maybe even trying what Dave Ramsey says is beans and rice and beans. Does he really mean that? But what's going to be the hardest part? What's going to be the hardest part of this Gazelle Intensity? This working an extra 30 to 40 hours on top of my full-time job as a mortician. What's what's going to be the hardest part? I don't think it's going to be the long hours. It's not even the potential for eating endless amounts of beans. It's giving up time with my friends. See, back in 2020, when the pandemic happened, I got a Google Stadia. I don't know if you remember that or not. And so I got Google Stadia, and when I got the controller in, I signed up, and then I found this game called Destiny 2. And when I logged in, I would play, some and everything, and then I got in part of this group, and that group has stayed together throughout this whole time. So for 5 years, I just have been playing almost nightly with these guys. Even when Google Stadia died, you know, Google is renowned for taking away great products, and Google Stadia was great. And then that went away, and we're like, okay, so what are we going to do now? And so we all decided to get Xboxes, and yeah, so just me and a couple, you know, three other guys just play almost nightly. And so I would come home from a long day of work, and then just get on, decompress, just kind of um, a way to not think about, the emotions from work. So that was my main social outlet. And fitting in 30 to 40 hours of driving a week means sacrificing that time. It won't mean sacrificing the friendship, because I can still have those friendships, because I can still text them and stuff. But yeah, it'll be tough. It's what it gets me thinking about that. But like, what else am I supposed to do to get out of debt? I think short term sacrifice. Yeah. So that's my why. That's the plan. And I want to share this whole journey right here on Seattle by the Mile. The ups, the downs, how much I'm actually making driving Uber in Seattle, and how much debt I'm paying off, and what this Gazelle intensity really looks like day to day. I know there's gonna be a lot of coffee involved. So, are any of you doing something similar? Are you facing down debt with a side hustle, especially here in Seattle? I would love to hear someone local if you're doing that, because Seattle's a pretty expensive place to live. So, drop a comment below. I'd love to connect and hear your experience. And what those YouTubers say. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to follow my journey. So keep your coffee hot and your ride smooth. I'll see you next mile.